Facebook's on. 1, 2, 3. Waiting on YouTube. There you go. All right. All right. Gonna have a little intro and then bring up Laura Ormsby. Let's see here. What's happening, everybody? We got Laura Ormsby on with us today. I'm going to bring her up now and see what's happening. She's about 10, 12 miles away from me over here in the St. Petersburg, Florida area. So we are going to have a little discussion in the middle of this quarantine. Let's see, here she comes. Let's see now. Start video. Unmute. What's happening, everybody?
Hi, guys.
What's going on? What's happening, Laura? What are you doing? What's going on?
I'm going freaking nuts. How about you? Well, see, that's not fair. That's not fair.
Hang on a second. Keep going.
Okay. It's not fair because people who have somebody else with you.
Say that again.
Whether you like the suckers or not.
What do you, wait a minute. I missed something. What happened?
No, I just mean that when you're in ice, it's as if I know I am in touch deprivation. I know I am because
touch deprivation. Yeah.
There is no one here with me. And so it's like, hey, you can only get friendly so often,
Oh man, let me turn this light off.
But it's here, tell you what, I'll go turn my light on.
Yeah, do what you got to do. I'm trying to figure out if that's enough lighting. It's there's a storm over here. Just came in in the middle of the last show.
Yeah, keep that shit down there. I don't want it up here. Right. Not up here.
Well, if it's going to be here, it's going to be there. You're so close.
Oh, I know. But
so
you're far away.
So you live alone, and so
my choice.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with that.
No. But I mean that it's my choice that I am alone.
Yeah. Well, and a lot of us chose the recluse path.
Yeah.
So this isn't really anything different for us, for the most part.
Yeah, but yet not until really, I'd have to say 2019, I think that the shift really happened.
Yeah.
Was that it just not forced, because it wasn't a forced decision on my part. It was like I was done with this lesson. I was done. I wasn't angry. I wasn't mad. It was just, I knew that there's something else I need to do. There's something else that is calling me. And this past, oh gosh, I'll have to say a good 2 weeks it's been. a good 2 weeks where I heard you this morning or earlier. You were talking with
Shanine,
where
Shanine.
it just flips. It's like not even you could go to bed with one mood and then you wake up with another mood in the morning. I'm not even talking that. I'm talking about walking from the kitchen back to the bedroom, coming back, and I've already changed my, nope, I'm already changed.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, I feel like sometimes it's a juggling act because it's like, just tell me what, and my big thing is that truth.
Yeah.
It has to be truth. And I posted a meme this morning that I have such respect for people who tell me the truth when it is the hardest thing they have to do. I have more respect for those people. So to me, truth is, that's the biggie for me.
You can't go wrong with it, can you?
Well, you can't, but yet I'm learning these past 2 weeks is, yeah, but what's my truth now?
That's true, but
what's my truth now?
No, this is a good
from Ania, and what do you think now?
Yeah. See, I've actually wanted to speak to somebody, so now I have the opportunity in regard to what you're bringing up, but not just on an individual level, because as the individual goes, so goes a collective, right? So
yes,
the truth, what's the truth? The truth is just the truth, man. So look, here's the way I look at it. Okay. The truth is the truth. This is what, this has been prophesized for years. They called it end times, Armageddon, apocalypse is the most widely used term, which means unveiling. It doesn't mean doom and gloom. It just means unveiling.
No.
Yeah. So here's the way I look at it. You got all these people. Well, I say all these people. There's a fixation. There's a fixation, obviously, on what's been presented to the world. There's all these different theories, about what really it is. Is it 5G? Is it a virus from Wuhan? Is it this? Is it that? Is it this? Is it just suggestive subliminal programming? Is it something we don't even know about? Is it a financial reset, Jasara, Wasara, Masara, whatever, all that stuff, all that stuff, the way I feel about it. And then,
absolutely.
No, I'm not damning anything. Nothing. I'm not damning the narrative of pedophilia is going to come to the surface or the Vatican's going to be brought to justice. I'm not damning any of that. What I am doing is saying this. We're in a community of hundreds of thousands of people, maybe millions of people. Maybe there's pockets and cells around the world. And we have all done, we were all in the trajectory pretty much of doing the inner work and getting to the truth of ourselves, right? And we're watching it influence the external. Now, here's the way I look at the external and why are we putting so much stock into it? If there's all of these people in these cells in these communities like this one around the world, there has to be the same percentage, I would think, theoretically, the same percentage of people in every other energy, every other portal or vortex, or whatever you want to call it, including government, including religion, including whatever. So here's where I'm at with it. We can handle the truth. I don't care what the truth is. Why doesn't somebody who's got a global presence, and I'm not directing this at anyone in particular, but why the hell do we have to play this secret code game with Q? Why do we have to wait on somebody not having the balls just to get up and say, let me tell you what's been going on. Let me tell you where our communication level is with Star Family. Let me tell you why cancer cures have been hidden for years. Let me tell you how the world's been working at the risk of physically losing my life because I am soul and I'm an eternal being. Now, to me, some people, even in the light work community, say, oh, well, you can't do that because it's got to go slow. People can't take it. And maybe I'm wrong, and maybe I'm all over the place. But here's the thing. Why isn't somebody speaking the truth? Why are we playing this shell game? Because This is a reflection of what we've been doing of our with ourselves. I know you personally, like many people, had an awakening and said, I'm done. I want the truth, warts and all. I don't care what it is. I want the truth. Okay. Now, why the hell can a president or a prime minister or the leader of a religious organization or any other type of social organization, why can't they speak the truth? Why can't they? Because they're
the reason. I'll give you a reason. Because it's as if you've got a 4-year-old little boy that gets to have chocolate cake every morning for breakfast. Because I get to have that every morning for breakfast.
You eat chocolate cake every morning?
Mom and dad say, no, you can't do that anymore. You've got to have cereal, toast.
Yeah.
The kid is not handling it well by any means, because all he wants is his chocolate cake. These people that have been allowed to run this world into this cesspool that we're climbing out of, they've been allowed to do that. They've been allowed to have their cake and eat it too. They've been allowed to have it for breakfast anytime they want. And now we are getting people that are saying no more. As for me, I'd have to say all my life, I've always asked questions. Why? And now this past, I'd have to say with the pandemic, and it's not even a pandemic. I see it as Mother Nature sent us all to our rooms. We're gonna think about it. You're gonna think about what you've done here.
I don't even, I don't know what it is. I don't think anybody knows what it is. I don't think anybody knows if the virus is real, if Q is real, if Trump is real, if the Queen is real, if she's a reptilian, is she a reptilian or a Pleiadian? I mean, I don't think anybody has the answer, but I think everybody has a piece. And all I'm saying is, why in the hell hasn't somebody of a public global persona had the balls to say, let me tell you what I know? Why? Because here, to me, it's one of two things, and I could be wrong. It's just my opinion. One is they're protecting their own interest. Okay. And two, they're afraid for their children. They're in an elite status, and they're a lesser god, and they think that we can't handle it. Fuck that shit. Okay, give me the truth. You want to ascend? Give me the truth. Give me the truth about everything. And nobody has all the answers, but tell me what you know. And this is what's opening the world up. Whistleblowers, and so on and so on. People talking about their transmissions or channelings or dimensional experiences. That's the truth. The truth are dragons, elementals, star family, divine essences, angels. That's the truth. Why aren't people talking about it?
Just because some people have never seen any of that doesn't mean that it doesn't exist.
But you got to believe that if I line up 100 Christians, 100 light workers, 100 particular ethnicity, whatever, you've got to believe that to some degree that there's going to be the same percentage of this and the same percentage of that. You can't tell me that people all around this world haven't had dimensional experiences. What's up with the people that have that are broadcasted out there at a worldwide level? Why haven't any of them stepped up and said, here's what I know? We're in an ascension. We communicate with star family. We have this hidden history and hidden archaeology. I don't trust any of them because I don't believe any of them have an excuse good enough not to be straight with us.
Well, to me, as one time is too much. One time you lied once, it's too much. Then you've already set the stage for me not to believe a damn word you say.
Yeah.
And so that's when I go I don't watch news. I go inside. I check with myself. I check with my higher self. I check with my God. I check with my angels, and I say, is that true for me? And it's not, or it is. And it's just that simple. I'm not going to throw wood on the fire. I don't need to,
Exactly.
because all I know is that yesterday to last night to 1:30 in the morning to 3:33 when I woke, it was like, oh, okay, so that's it. I heard all of this, and it's like, so that's it.
What do you mean?
I was like, yeah,
That's it. Yes.
that's it.
It's not even real, right?
It isn't. It isn't.
Okay. So maybe that's what it is.
These are our stories that we keep sharing.
Okay. So maybe that's what it is. Maybe each individual has to say, that's not even real. I'm not even going to give it my attention, not because I believe in fluffy love and light and there's no
Right.
not that. I'm just not going to do it because that's not part of my creation.
Correct.
Anymore. Thank you for showing me the way, but
Right.
I want to see Eden. I want to see teleportation and bilocation and pure telepathy and pure 0 point. I want to see that. All I'm saying is
last night, that's all I got was telepathy, and it's like, you got to be fucking me. Who am I talking with? And it's like, it was like, okay, I'm just going to go to bed with knowing in my heart, in my soul, I am filled with God's light and love. Yeah. So he is allowing in all of this knowledge that I didn't know existed. So I'm just having a blast with this. And I know I'm listening to me. Is this true for me with my soul?
Yeah.
Is this truth? And that's all I can go on. My truth, it may not be yours. It may not be anyone else's.
It's not.
Except a slim few, which are the ones that I am to talk to. That's what I love. Yeah. So I'm not offended if nobody likes me or they can't stand this or they think I'm crazy. I don't give a fuck. I really don't, because I know why I'm here and I am being guided to who I will come in contact with.
Yeah.
And I'm good. I'm good. I'm good. Ever since I've let go, I've released control, and I have allowed the universe to work with me instead of me thinking I'm all this and I know this and I know that. I don't know shit.
That's right. I don't know anything.
I
don't know anything, but I do know one thing, that everybody, all 8 billion of us on the planet, put our shoes and socks on the same way, right? There's I'm not going to say that.
Yeah, but all of our asses have a crack in it. And
okay, you went there. I started to say something. I knew you would run.
No, you go right ahead. Go right ahead.
But but okay. So I look at that and say, what is the difference? The universe to me has always taught in a upside down way, a paradoxical way. What I think is that is this, and up is down, round is square, and so on. And so I think, okay, well, this is the perfect example because it exemplifies the opposite is true. It's not about the US government, and it's not about secret space program, and it's not about reptilians and Anunnaki, and it's not about viruses and Vaticans. It's about you and me. I am soul. And so having that now, understanding that, being aware of that, and there's many people all over the world that have this understanding. Now, what do? Do we sit back and be the observer and just look at everything, or do we start to create?
Oh, definitely.
That's what I'm interested in. I'm interested in creating, not waiting. I'm not interested in waiting on anybody saying, oh, let me tell you what's going on. We have a new religion and, or whatever the case is. I'm not interested in that. I'm not interested in somebody's narrative getting the public support of being true and creating another line of separation of us versus them. I'm not interested in that. I'm interested in the I am soul. I am made in the image. We are all the same. Let's create something. And I believe we do that by making a decision right here and say, I'm not putting up with that shit anymore. I'm not dealing with it anymore. I don't need to go convince anybody. I don't need to go to protest or anything. I'm just not going to deal with it. I'm not.
You're not going to give it your energy.
Yeah.
I value my energy. I value it. I'm very selective with who I give it to and who I spend it with.
Yeah.
So yes, it better be connected with me inside, that I know, no, without a doubt, this is for me.
And first and foremost, who do you spend it with?
Pardon?
First and foremost, who do you spend it? Who do you spend your time with?
Me.
That's right.
Me.
That's exactly right.
Me. That's all I have. And even if somebody else was here, it would still be. I saw a post somebody put that said, for loners, I think it is, that what was it? I can't wait till the quarantine is over so I can be by myself with my rules, that it keeps others away. It's like, hey, I like being by myself, but I don't like when everyone else has to be with me by myself. So it's like, no, I enjoy my time alone. I enjoy my time with others because I learn about them. I learn about me. And then I can go back in and I can work on me again, because it's not my job to fix anybody on this planet. No. And it took me the longest time to be okay with that. And it's not that I'm oh, fuck them, it's their problem. It's not that. It's not that at all. It's to the point, what if this is their journey they are on and they need to hit that rock bottom?
That's right.
Or they need to lose this. I'm depriving them of their lesson.
Yeah, MYOFB.
NY.
MY, the phrase MYOB,
yes.
MYOFB.
Yes. Oh,
but isn't that the truth? Isn't that the truth? If we're going to concern ourselves, let's say overly concern ourselves,
right?
What's the difference if we do that with other people? Being having like a wounded healer mentality and unconscious.
Hey, I used to be that. Absolutely.
I think every one of us here have been.
I agree. Yes.
And are still recovering. Meaning that we're still susceptible to it. But what's the difference between that and buying into a narrative? I mean, it's like that old saying. What is it? When you look for something, it's right under your nose. Yeah, that's it. We are the truth, and as long as we want to play this game, we can continue to play it, because what's going to happen when the game's over? We're eternal. We're infinite.
We keep going.
That's right. We're limitless. We're forever. So what can we do in a conscious awareness that when we're still in this incredible opportunistic realm of being in a physical, what we might call a dense physical experience, we could actually we could do whatever we want. We could fly. I could fly to your house. We could bilocate. We can teleport. We can create instantaneously. I mean, we're sitting here talking about how were the pyramids built, and try to say it's impossible. It was built by previous civilizations, which we were part of, and this is just an example where we were tapped into our limitless skills and abilities and manifestation abilities, somehow or another, and there's been a lot of talk about Atlantis, Lemuria, Egypt, and all these different civilizations that got to a point and stopped. I believe we're at the point where we're picking the ball up and we're taking it to where it's never been taken before. And that's why we have all these recollections and visitations from aspects that were from those times, so to speak, because
That's
they have information, or that's information in us that we're awakening so that we can further take it down the road.
absolutely. We are. It's just open your mind, and I can't tell people enough. If you open your mind, you open your eyes and you open your heart, you've got heaven on earth.
Yeah.
You really do. It's that simple that when I woke up this morning, it was I solved it. It was, you're dying.
You're dying.
You're the one who's making the story.
Yeah.
Are you done? Because that's how it came back. That's how I heard it in my ear was, so I don't know. Are you done? I don't know. When you ask a teacher, or a teacher asks you, I don't know, are you asking me or telling me that question? And that's how I exactly felt it was, I don't know. Are you? And right away I sat there and I went, yeah, I am. Yeah, yeah. And I was
Man,
smiling.
that just brought me a humble moment. So when I woke up and I went on the streets for 2 years, and one of my kids had been living, well, several had been, but one of them had been living with me, and he was still in. He'd stay with me in the hotel when I had one. And he'd stay with his girlfriend when he didn't. He was 16 years old, and so I'd run into him, and of course I was all over the place. I'm having divine episodes, but I'm also having extreme human, what you might call dark episodes, or whatever the case is.
Right.
But so I would like see him, and sometimes I'd go off, and I'd be like, and he'd just look at me and go, "Are you done?" Wow. But I get what you're saying, because Morgan's talked about it for the last couple of days. She's gotten this epiphany. She's connected with 3 different women who in the course of the conversation they were having, which was not solicited, and it wasn't like, oh, let me tell you what happened. But in the
Right.
course of the conversations, they went through the same thing, which is that whole, I'm dying. It wasn't even real. Let's create something.
Mhm.
Let's something this weekend, I think, hugely shifted.
I agree. I know last week I wanted to paint, but I reasoned my way out was because I just would have painted black.
Yeah.
That was it. That was all that would have been on the canvas was black. There was nothing. And it was like, no. And then a couple of days later, I could see it in my mind, in my third eye. I'm seeing, oh, the seed has been planted. I needed to go into complete darkness to take myself away from all family. And that was my latest one that I had to, was that, yes, I've said that I'm not here for my siblings, but I'm here for their children. I'm here for the next generations to come. I'm not here for mine. I'm here for the people that are coming, to say, I took 60 years of abuse and I healed it in 1 year.
Yeah. Yes.
You people have a whole lot less. Let's clean your shit up now while you're in quarantine. It's like, if it takes 4 days of throwing up and being sicker than a dog and going through all this pain to come out on the other side, that when I'm sitting and I'm in God's love, when I'm in God's love, I swear my heart is, from a side view, my heart is that deep. I swear it is. And it is all encompassing. I can feel it coming out of my back, my shoulder blades. I feel this love that just keeps growing and growing. And there's like a little burn I can feel when, I got it. I
Mm.
got it. Okay. There we go. And then I just feel the little burn. It's like, yep, one more step up. I'm
Yeah.
learning. I'm learning. And that's all this is. We are a growth in progress or a process.
Growing up.
Yeah, we really are.
That's what Morgan calls it, growing up. That's what, you know, I was watching Joseph Campbell, you know, the guy that
Yeah.
wrote Power of Myth and Luck. Okay. So
Yes.
Hero's Journey and all that. And I love him. And I kind of been revisiting him in the last few days. And I watched one last night. It was called How to Be Becoming an Adult. But it isn't it like, okay, so it's almost like teenager.
Yeah.
You know, and I had helped raise 6 kids. So I mean, I always knew after the first one or two, really after the first one, she was that they get because they're the speed of their learning
Hmm.
is like, you know, much faster, at least until the last 10 years. I think everybody's increasing now, but you know, it's like you know, and then they push you and they push you and they try this and they try that, and you can use the element of fear, especially if you're a father, you know, and you can talk loudly and threaten. And then the day comes when they, you know, go behind the curtain and see that there's a man, you know, behind the curtain, right?
Yeah.
And then that's when what adulthood starts or whatever. But I guess what I'm saying is it's like the only way to control and contain that burgeoning young adult, you know, the teenager, is through all means necessary, which is fear and distortion and you know, creating false narratives and such. And where are we at that's any different?
I,
We're like that teenager that's going, you know what, this just doesn't add up. You know, it just doesn't add up. You got people who others might call unawakened, and I really don't like that term, who are going out there going, wait a minute, why is there a curfew, you know, from 9 p.m. to 5 a.m.? Now, I'm not talking about the situation here. I'm talking about energy. I'm talking about where we're at in our evolution, right?
right.
And so it's like, okay, so what's that about? Why is it that you can go to the grocery store with 100 people touching the same shelves and the same product and the same debit card processor, but you can't go? But you can't go to the beach. But you can't go to the beach. And if you go and if you go to the beach, you can walk, you can run, you can fish, you can swim, but you can't lay down. The
Yes.
fuck is that? So people are going, okay, wait a minute, mom and dad, uh, this isn't jiving. And
Yeah.
like you said earlier, the minute they find an incongruent, inconsistent, let's just call it a prevarication, a lie, whatever,
Yeah.
then you're done. Stick a fork in your ass because you no longer have the control. And I think that's where we're at. But I think the the part that we're the gift is we're at that point, and the next step is what do you want to create?
Yes. Well, and I need to ask you because you talk to a variety of people, and I just had this one encounter.
Mm,
I had with being closed indoors and that I have this one friend that I we have been texting just how you doing, you know, I'm okay, I'm in quarantine, you know, and stuff. They stay safe. But it was to the point, we not brought it to the next level, but we just started talking more personal. What are you doing? What'd you do before you came here and stuff like that? And it was like, okay. And so I gave a little bit about the spiritual, the meme where there's a husband or a woman, man and a woman at a kitchen table.
mm,
And the woman, you can see she is solid form there. And the husband, you can see right through him, like
mm,
Michael J. Fox, Back to the Future.
mm.
And it was to the point you can talk all you want, but they're not going to get it. They may not get it. And so I had sent that to this person to say, this is where I'm at, so no offense, but this is what I'm into, is spirituality and that. And he ended up, oh yeah, oh okay, well, oh, a lot of people are like that. I'm not. I got thrown under the bus.
Mhm.
I got thrown under the bus when I started to speak my truth.
Yeah.
And it was just funny where I just went, well, that's very sad.
Mm.
I just felt very sad for them, because here they're touting their religion, and it's like, boy, I was raised Catholic. There was no hate. God hates,
Mm.
so it just once again. And so then it just is teaching me that I need to tune into my intuition. What am I? Because when I sent that picture, I believe I knew exactly what I was going to get back.
Yeah.
And they sent it back. Oh, no, that's not me. I'm open-minded.
Oh, you
So,
know,
I don't know. I mean, I just wish him well. There was no more contact after that, needless to say.
yeah, right.
Well, it was funny, was because it was "Be gone with you," and it was like, what the fuck?
Well, but
Be gone with
the
you?
crazy thing is that uh, they're probably thinking the same thing. This is where I go back to. I think everybody's beating at the same vibration. It just doesn't look that way, because
Uh-huh.
there is a spectrum,
Right.
and so like what you were saying is very true. And I look back at myself and I go, okay, I used to make jokes because when I started doing the show, well, I didn't. It wasn't even then. But if you ever noticed, like through the last few years, when somebody wakes up and really gets the gets the cattle prod, you know, what do? They, and I'm included, they would start trying to tell everybody, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then the next thing you know, you see a post, why isn't anybody listening to me? They don't get it. And then they go through another phase, and eventually it becomes like, in other words, if you get thrown under the bus, if you get backstabbed, if you get talked about, if people are intrusive into your
Uh-huh.
personal life, which is one that's big with me, I just reached another level of clearing on that yesterday.
Yeah.
Then you get to the point where there's no charge. And this is, I think, where I'm not saying we're there or I'm there.
Mhm.
I shouldn't speak
Oh,
for other
we're
people,
getting there. We're
but yeah,
definitely getting there.
but you can
Because
be,
you know
yeah,
what, though, Todd? We
mm,
need to be the example. That's what we need to be, is the example to show it can be done. I
yeah,
may not agree with you, and you say
mm,
that all the time on your shows and stuff. You may not agree with all people, but hey, everybody has a right to it.
yeah,
And I commend you for that. We are a kaleidoscope of people,
yes,
and once we understand that all of these people that we come in contact with every day are us, that's us,
yes, yes. And
us.
I think this trajectory of look, how do you create a pattern, you know,
Hmm.
how do you create a pattern? Yeah, like a behavioral pattern.
A good habit.
Some
A good
people,
habit.
yeah, like some people, like energy workers like Morgan will talk about new neural pathways.
Yes.
So how do you do that? And I think that's where we're at. We're on this trajectory of attaining and sustaining no charge.
Yes.
As a quick example, so I have I have this process I use. If something comes up, and it makes me uncomfortable, then I go to work on that person or that thing, right? So yesterday I've had this real pain in my ass for about 3 or 4 years, that I've only actually said something to one time,
Uh-huh.
which was 3 or 4 months ago. And I finally said to this person who sent me message after message after message, trying to engage me, trying to engage people around me
Right.
for 3, 4, 5 years. The message I sent was, you handle your shift, I'll handle my shift. and I'll meet you in the middle. Now, that sounds great. It sounds like Todd's a Buddha, but no, Todd had to go through a lot of, man, I'm going to send this to that motherfucker. I'm
Right.
going to send
Right.
this. I'm
Right.
going to send that. And I
You
never
don't
did.
have to.
I went back and checked my messages with him. But my point is this, when it came up, I know that's me I'm looking at. I know that person is a gift to me. I know that person's playing a role for me, trying to show me something in myself
Mhm.
where I'm intrusive, where I want to be the exception, where I want attention or whatever it is, because I don't know. All right. But
Mhm.
I can without knowing, I got to this yesterday. I can get to a point where I can get to a point of no charge. Now, will it last? I don't know. I've had to go back and go back and go back, but to me, that's really where it's at. Like if I have no charge, then that's where it starts,
Yeah.
and then I would go back to your thing about you were gonna paint something, but if you would have painted something and been all black, I think that's actually perfect. To me, that's the space, the void, the womb of
Start.
the holy darkness. I mean, that's actually where you're like surrender willingly. Let's start over. I mean, it's a cosmic quantum question, but I mean, it's like to me, that's where you start, and I think that's what you were saying earlier, and that's what I observed in Morgan and her friends the last 2 3 days was kind of like none of that's real.
Yes.
Here I'm at. Here I am. You know.
Well, and today also with when I was getting together and getting myself ready, it was to the point I can't thank everyone who has been in my life. I
Yeah.
can't thank them. I can't thank my ex-husband enough. I can't thank my siblings for all they did to me. I can't thank my parents. I can't thank any of them because of them. I am who I am today.
Mm,
And I freaking love myself. And I know that I deserve the best, and everyone else
yeah.
deserves to feel this way too. We all do. So thank all the people that bullied you, that did this, that did that, because this is a new day. We're changing that. It's time to change it with our children and with maybe with employees and coworkers and that, the abusive nature and that, so it's forcing us to look at these things and say thank you,
Mm,
because now what are you going to do to change that
mm.
that attitude?
I think this is where we're being taken.
Yeah.
Where we're being taken is let's go beyond that. Let's
It is
go.
beyond. It is
Let's
beyond. People
yeah.
used to say to the moon and back.
The moon and
I
back.
say to the moon and beyond.
Yeah.
We're going
Well,
beyond.
so take the word. Look. When you see the amount of extreme um, position, moral, ethical position in the light worker communities that's out there today.
Mhm.
That that is a great gift for me because it's a big part of my day checking myself. Do I have a no charge to
Yeah.
all of these things that are being leaked out? Are they psyops? Are they reality?
Mhm.
I'm not going to get into all the subjects, but
Right.
the most horrific things you could imagine from a human perspective. Okay. Now, I think we're all being driven to a point where we have to look at the worst of the worst of the worst and in the road to the place that we're trying to get, or the 0 point, or where you want to call it, is accepting and loving those things and then not paying it lip service, because you can't pay lip service to things when it comes to the universe. It knows what you know. So, can't like I've said before, I'm more interested not in what's going to be disclosed, if anything actually is, okay, I'm more interested in how are people going to behave once it occurs. That's going to show me where the world's at. It's not about what's gone on. It's about what's going to happen when it's disclosed. How are you going to react? Are you going to join a vigilante group and go out and hang people? Are you going to stand up on the mountain and say, I told you so? Or are you going to be what so many of these prophets and prophetesses have been and hold that no charge neutral state?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I agree 100%. We're facing new times, and the wonderful thing is, I think, is that there is no blueprint.
Mm-hmm.
Can't
right.
we have fun?
Yes.
Can't we? There's got to be a way that we can still do all the work that we need to do, but there's got to be an easier way to do it.
Yeah.
That it's not such a struggle. You know, that, and I was thinking earlier when I was meditating, we are all Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. We all are. So instead of thinking that, oh no, that's not us, I'm too religious, or I'm too this, or I'm too that. No, we all are Jekyll and Hyde. We all
That's right.
are. And accept it, wear it, and say, okay, so how do I address what is coming up today? That's all.
Yeah. It's a moment by moment thing. It's just like a dream state. It's like when you're in dream.
Absolutely.
Everything is available in the moment, right?
Yes.
Everything is there. And I love what you said about the Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. This came to me 5 or 6 days ago. And, so much of the time, like so many of us, when things come in, I don't even know what the hell I'm saying or what it means.
True.
But
True.
it's like, okay, everything is about, we're in a duality.
Yes.
Okay. So it's you've got these polarities and they're going to be present until we fishtail that thing into, and if that's what happens. I mean, but this seems to be the situation. And most of the people that you talk to, that when you get right down to it, what does their day consist of? It consists of them integrating and aligning polarities.
Right.
So the other day it came in and it's like, oh, you're integrating and aligning all polarities, period. I'm thinking, okay, well, yeah, I get that. But what about like the really, really human stuff? Like the like, and it came in lust and love.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, well, wait a minute. I'm in a divine union. Lust is out the window. No. Lust and love. Okay. Those are two polarities. And everything's made of the same substance. So you can't have any exceptions. So it's like the most animalistic human aspect being integrated with the higher self, or however you want to put it, all the virtues of the soul, however you want to put it.
The rude, the crude, and the lewd. Absolutely. We are one. We are. Yes. We are, and we're the angel, and we're it all. We are it all. Yeah. Just accept it, and it's not a badge that you have to wear, or it's a wound. No, you're just like everybody else.
Yeah. And we all have the same genes.
We do.
Levi's. Yeah, right. Oh,
I thank you, sir.
And but we should. I thank you. But I think too that we should give ourselves some credit.
Oh, holy mollies! Yes. I almost opened a wine last night. I almost did. Almost.
We should. That happened to me last week. After a big day, I woke up the next day. I was laughing all day long. Morgan cracked up all day long, all night long. I was cracking up. And I had a little bit of wine, which I don't really do. But anyway, but yeah, I think we should give ourselves some credit. I mean, I don't know. I know I have work to do. I have work to do around this thing.
Oh, we all do.
Yeah, but I mean, like, now I have done a lot better in the last week to 10 days. I'm not going to news sites, and I'm not watching videos.
Yeah.
I feel like I've taken enough information in, and it's the same old story, the same exact story. It just has different things on the surface. It's the same thing. Am I giving my power away?
Yes.
Is it impeding my ability to create?
Yes.
And you know, and the other thing I think that's been heavy on my mind too, which you brought up earlier, and I know it's an energetic thing because I'm not afraid to die. I'm not afraid. I'm telling, and I know there's a lot of people out there like that, and that's so liberating and free. But one of the things that's been coming to the surface over the last 4 or 5 days, along with this other stuff, has been mortality. And it's not like, oh, I'm afraid to die, I'm going to wash my hands and wear gloves and a face mask everywhere I go. It's not like that. It's more like I choose to be here. I want to be here.
Yes.
I want to be a co-creator, and I want to create something spectacular and phenomenal with my brothers.
Do you hear how empowering it is when you switch that? I don't want to die. I want to live. I want to be here.
Yeah.
How empowering just that view is.
Yeah, exactly. It's liberating.
Yes.
And it's contagious. That's the real virus
Yes.
to me. The real virus is spread the soul. And I don't mean like fluffy love and lights, but I mean, I'm talking about spread. What did you start the show with? The truth. You know, the truth. The truth is the truth is the truth. People say, well, I can't tell them what really happened. You know, think about it in terms of the parent and child again, right? So you don't want to tell somebody something because you're afraid it's going to what, hurt them, or they can't handle it. Who the hell are you to say that? You know,
and we're taking that power away from them.
Yeah.
To possibly step up and say, you were right. Before, when I did nothing, you were right. That I was a coward.
And everybody has the right. Everybody has the ability to heal themselves, if you want to use that term. So why, you know, Morgan used to tell me that all the time. I'd tell her, why didn't you tell me that? You know, if you saw that 2 months ago, why would I rob you of coming to it yourself? And it's true.
About the last 2 years, I've had to defend myself with, well, that's just cruel. No, that's not. I'm allowing them to live the life that they were born to live. I don't know the journey. I don't know the trials and tribulations. I only know mine that I survived through because I had to go through it.
Yeah.
That's the only way you get to the other side.
Right on.
Go through it.
That's right on, man.
Absolutely.
You going to the beach anytime soon? Oh, they're not open down here yet.
Are they open by you? Not up here yet.
Yeah, but I went last weekend. I went anyway.
Oh yeah, I heard about that, Todd.
Yeah, I just went over there. I did a video over there. You know, I mean, and there was a few people out there, but
was that the sneaking around one where you felt bad that you were there?
No, I didn't feel bad. I didn't feel bad at all. I was I don't know. It was actually a really cool experience because there was like, you know, like on that stretch, I don't know how long that is. It's got to be like, I don't know. You got to be able to see like probably at least 5-6 miles of beach there.
Yeah.
And there was probably 50 people. And there was over here to the left, there was a mother and a father and 3 kids playing, you know, and over here, there was an elderly couple just having a stroll. I mean, it was like
normal.
It was very cool. It was very, very cool. And I thought to myself, well, what if everybody just did, you know, like, what if everybody just did that? Like and
we washed our hands and we, you know, respected other people's boundaries and their spaces. That we can all then get together and do those things. Yes.
Absolutely. Right on.
I love you, man.
You're a powerhouse. I love you too.
I can't wait. Can't wait to be able to give you guys hugs, a proper hug. Okay.
I've got no problem hugging people right now or ever. I think it's very healthy.
Oh, it is.
You know, but
hey, I know myself well.
Exactly right. All right, you take care.
Thank you, sir. Love you.
Love you.
Love to the wife, and thank you all for showing up and supporting Soulagy. Awesome guy. I thank you.
Love you.
Bye bye.
Thank you.